Hey y'all, I had to jump back on here for a few minutes because I just got into a conversation or just finished having a conversation with my husband, and it kind of got deep um for me because as always God is speaking through him to me. Uh I don't even know how to begin. But anyway, we're sitting here at home and we're just trying to, wait for the new year to come in, as most people are if they're not at parties or whatever they're doing. But um in the conversation, and I'm kind of still kind of floored by this conversation, so forgive me if I kind of ramble a little bit because I'm still trying to collect my thoughts, but I had to say this because number one, I know that there's somebody out there that is going through exactly what I'm going through and they need to hear this. So we're sitting there on the couch or whatever, and he tells me that in a nutshell, something is blocking me, blocking my blessings, blocking me spiritually. And he asked me if I felt it, and I told him I did, and I do. I don't know, I didn't at the time. I didn't know where it was coming from, and I kept asking God, why can't I get over this hump, or why can't I do this, or why do I continue to feel like this? And it's always a feeling of um anxiety. It's a feeling of I have to hurry up and accomplish this, or I'm falling behind, I'm getting left behind. And when we were talking, it all made sense. Um, in my family, I can speak for my family because I'm in my family, but I know that there are other families like this. The matriarch of my family is my mom, and I have to give a backstory to get to where I am. She, of course, the matriarch, she was the one that prayed for all of her kids, like most mothers do. But then I had a sister who passed away of breast cancer in 2001. She was the most praying individual that I had ever met. Um, when she passed away, our family passed away with, for lack of a better term. Everybody kind of split up and everybody was doing their own thing. We still are kind of apart now, especially now that my mother suffers from Alzheimer's. So I very rarely see my siblings, my nephew, who was my sister's son. Um, it's hard for me to even see my own kids because they are so spread out. My son is a senior in college. My daughter is living 2 hours away with her family, like she's a mother and a wife and all of that. But in a nutshell, he tells me that the reason why I am feeling this way, or I know that there is a block, is because I'm fighting against principalities. There's a fight against me and my family. God has so much in store for us, and the torch has been passed to me to be the one to actually go to war. It's a spiritual thing. If you don't believe in spiritual warfare, it's out there. It is real. It is what everybody is going through in this time. And I just want to say to whoever is feeling the way that I feel right now, I just want to tell you that you are not alone and that we are fighting this battle together. I can't say what your situation is. I can only speak on mine. And it is, the devil has stolen so much from my family over the just over the course of the last 5 years. He has stolen so much from me and my family. And one recent thing is my father. My father is 77 years old. He'll be 78 in May, but he is, as long as I've known him, he's always been a truck driver. He's a Vietnam vet. He's a truck driver. That's all he's ever wanted to do. He told me stories of when he was little, how he would see diesels pass by and he would always say that that's what he wanted to do. So when he was old enough to do it, that's what he did. And he's still doing it. He retired and then he went back to it, and this is what he's doing. And he had a truck accident where he fell off of his truck and messed up his knee, which resulted in him having surgery. And after he had his surgery, he went through rehab, and in the process of going through rehab, he was hit by a city vehicle that was carrying a bulldozer. And I'm laughing and I'm smiling because after, during this time, I really wasn't in tune to what was going on, and it wasn't brought to my attention until just a few minutes ago. So God had this blessing set up. Like he, as my husband says, he ran the play. The play was running, right? My father got hit by this city official, and you know that when you get hit by city officials, they pay you. Like it's a thing, right? So as he is being interviewed by the police officer, a city official walks up to him and hands him a piece of paper, and he explains all this stuff to him, but he fails to tell my father that if he signs this paper, then he could not sue the city of wherever he is, right? My father, being shaken up, wasn't thinking about the situation, and he signed the paper. So the only thing that he got out of that situation was a brand new vehicle. Nothing else. He couldn't pursue any other options. It was just gone out the door because of him signing the paper. So as my husband was explaining this to me, he was like, God ran the play. And when all of this took place, the enemy saw this and was like, no, this is not going to happen. We're not letting this happen. So he swoops in with this guy from the city who half explains things. And my dad signs the paper, which takes that blessing out of play. How many times have we as individuals allowed Satan, because of our lack of knowledge, steal from us? Something to think about. It's not the people that we are in contact with every day, the people on your job that make you mad, or the person, that one specific person at your job that just nags you and they keep poking you to see if they can get a reaction out of you. It's not that person. It's not your baby mama. It's not your baby daddy. It's not even your children. It's not that lady in the store that is having a bad day and she's taking it out on you because, for whatever reason. It's not those people. It's the enemy. They are just vessels. So what was brought to my attention, the reason why I feel this way is because there is a blockage, and it is up to me to open that door. What we have to do is we literally have to build our relationships with God. God has given us the authority to unleash his angels on our behalf to war for us. We have to rebuke. We have to denounce Satan. We have to be the ones who go into fervent prayer. Not when we want to, but even when we're tired. Like, it's a constant prayer life. It's in the morning when you wake up. It's in the afternoon while you're at work. It's at night when you get home. And it's all throughout the day. Even if the prayer is 2 seconds long, Jesus help me. God protect my family. Whatever the case may be, we have to stay in prayer and we have to stay in that lane, because what we're going through is spiritual warfare. It's on me to change the trajectory of my family. That is something that I have known, but it's something that I fight, because, and I'm just being honest, because I know somebody feels this way, because I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. I fight it because I don't feel like I have what it takes to do it. But I was just reminded that I do have what it takes to do it, because God put it on the inside of me, and He put it on the inside of you. So I want to encourage you, because in 2025, in just a couple of hours, y'all, if we are not praying fervently, I don't even know what's going to happen. We can stay locked and in bondage, or we can free and open these doors to these wonderful and beautiful things and opportunities that God has mapped out for us and our families. There is a chosen one in each generation of your family. And I'm the one that was chosen for the generation of my family. So that means that I have to carry the weight of my siblings, my parents, the weight of my children, my granddaughter, my everything that involves me. I have to be the one to carry the weight of that. I have to be the one to go to war for that. I have to be the one who loses sleep at night. I have to be the one that wakes up early. I have to be the one that figures it out. I have to be the one who releases my authority over all of this stuff. And even in the times when things are looking good, they look good. But please know that the enemy is plotting and planning against you and your family every day, because they never sleep. They never go to bed. They never lay down. They never rest. They are constantly trying to steal, kill, and destroy us. So it is our job, not just in 2025, but for the rest of our lives, to do and be about our Father's business, because we have a family to change. We have to break these generational curses. We have to be the ones that show our children and our children's children a different way. Because if not, the cycle will continue to just go, and nothing will come of it. Yeah, bright ideas will come through, and maybe one or two of your family members may make it out, and they might break some curses. I've broken several curses in my family, but that's not enough. You can't just stop right there. But just because I was the first one to graduate from college in my family, yeah, I broke that curse, but I can't stop right there. You know what I'm saying? Just because, my sister was a teacher, but she was a different type of teacher. Just because my profession is what it is, I was the first to do it. I put it that way. Doesn't mean I can stop. Doesn't mean I have the right to say, okay, I did my job and that's it. No, my job just started. Not realizing that God had placed that inside of me when I was young. And I mean, very young. I've always felt this way. I've always wondered why I was different. I've always wondered why I didn't fit in. I've always wondered why I was viewed a certain way. But now I know. And I know that that sounds strange being 48 years old, but when things are brought to you and God has been trying to show you in other ways and you don't catch it, He'll make it plain. And that has been one of my prayers, is for Him to make it plain for me. And He brought it straight to me through my husband. And I'm okay with that. Sometimes we view things a little different. You might think that your husband or whoever's talking to you is coming at you sideways, or they see this and they just talking and they just trying to make you feel a certain way. Nope. A lot of times that is because they can see things that you can't see. The veil has been pulled out from his eyes. I still had the veil over me. And I still do. But as I pray and as I develop and as I grow and as I change, God is going to start revealing more and more and more to me. And I'm so thankful right now in this moment. I'm thankful for that, because now I know what direction I'm going in. And nobody can stop that. No devil in hell can keep me from my destiny. No devil in hell can keep me from changing the trajectory of my family. No devil in hell can keep you from your destiny. No devil in hell can keep you from doing what God has ordained you to do. So whatever it is that has been tugging at you, we know when God speaks to us because it's an unrest. It's not something that you can just let go of. It's an unrest. It lingers. It's not like, oh, your girl, your friend, or whoever is speaking to you, they say one thing and it goes in one ear and out the other. No, when God speaks to you, it stays with you, and it will stay until you act accordingly. And that is really what has been happening to me for quite some time. Yes, this is the beginning of my journey, but, well, I'm not gonna say it's the beginning of my journey. It's a new chapter of my journey. But it's scary, but I'm embracing it. Which brings me to the next part. Like, if you are going to do this and go full force and go head on, then you have to take care of yourself. That's number one. You have to get physically and mentally in shape, because if you don't, you are going to fall by the wayside, because you're not going to have enough energy to do everything that God has placed before you to do. Yes, are you going to get tired? Yes, you are. You are. It's going to be days where you don't want to get out of the bed. It's going to be days where you don't want to pray. It's going to be days where you don't even feel like moving. But you have an assignment to do, and you need to start eating right. You need to start, if you don't do anything but walk, you need to start walking. You need to start consuming as much water as you can. Let some of this other stuff go and just take it one day at a time. And I'm full, and I really don't, this is not coming out the way that I really want it to come out. But I had to get on here and say something. I couldn't rest without talking about it. I really, the funny thing is, I was not going to do another video today. And my husband was like, go do another video. And in my head, I was like, okay, I'll do the video, but what am I going to talk about? Because I hadn't had anything to really talk about. But when I got in the car, this is what hit me. Like, I had to talk about it. So I'm just really, really encouraging you guys to stay focused, get in your word, stay prayerful, understand the mission, and act accordingly. Because in 2025, we are definitely going to need it.